Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Health Department vows to strengthen the contact tracing for 2 individuals who contracted the COVID-19 variant from India. Let's get more details on this. Faith Del Mundo is joining us live from Quezon City. Faith, can you tell us the latest, please?
Yes, Riza, the DOH is now able to get the flight details of the country's first 2 cases of Indian variant. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire said they are now searching for other close contacts. According to Vergeire, the case number 1, a 37-year-old male from Oman, has 6 close contacts on the airplane. 3 have already tested negative, but they are still searching for the other because the names on the database did not match. As for the second case, a 58-year-old male from the UAE, the DOH has verified 32 close contacts and 3 of them tested positive for COVID-19. From the 3, 1 was submitted for genome sequencing, while the other 2 still need to be located for samples. As for vaccines, Vergeire explained that only less than 5% were wasted. The reason for this is power interruptions, and the other is the vaccines had contaminants when they were opened. The DOH has advised LGUs to have standby generators to maintain the potency of the shots. In Cotabato City, it was reported that a freezer was not switched back on after a power interruption. The DOH has since contacted the regional office and they are now investigating the matter. Vergeire also reiterated that storage of COVID-19 vaccines should be separated from the food. Riza, Yusek Vergeire also reminds the public that even though other countries have begun not requiring the wearing of masks among those who have completed the immunization, here in the Philippines, it is still not applicable as only nearly 3 million have been vaccinated. Riza?
Thank you for that report. That's Faith Del Mundo reporting live from Quezon City. Now, here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. Senator Kiko Pangilinan is urging the government to give private sector and local government units a bigger role in COVID-19 response. The senator says the government's vaccination effort can be more adequate with the help of the private sector and LGUs. Pangilinan is also pushing for the IATF to enable LGUs by giving up some of its powers in order to reach its goal of 70 million vaccinated Filipinos before 2022. House Deputy Speaker Bernadette Herrera D. is pushing for the trial of Pfizer and Moderna vaccine booster shots to those who got Sinovac and AstraZeneca jabs. Herrera D. says she already asked the DOH, DOST, and FDA to allow this trial as it has been done in some countries. She adds that recent studies suggest that getting booster shots is necessary against the emergence of new variants. And the World Health Organization is warning that the second year of the pandemic is proving to be worse than the first. WHO Director Tedros Ghebreyesus notes that COVID-19 claimed over 3 million lives worldwide so far. He stresses the importance of following health protocols and getting vaccinated to survive the pandemic. Now, the spread of COVID-19 has brought numbers and statistics to the forefront of the daily lives of million Filipinos, or million of people. Now, more than ever, data has become an important factor in analyzing the COVID-19 pandemic. But what is data telling us about the spread of COVID-19 around the world? The World Health Organization answers that in this video.
Hello and welcome to Science in 5. I'm Vismita Gupta-Smith and these are WHO's Conversations in Science. Today we're talking to Dr. Oliver Morgan about the trends that we are seeing around the world for COVID-19. Welcome, Oliver.
Thank you very much, Vismita. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Oliver, what is the data and science telling us about COVID-19 transmission and the picture around the world?
Well, Vismita, we're seeing quite a concerning picture. Throughout the months of March and April, there has been a steady increase in the number of cases each week, and the weekly number of cases is now higher than in any time in the pandemic. We've also seen that the number of cases in younger adults and children might be higher than in previous periods of the pandemic. We think overall the increase in cases and the higher number of cases in younger people is due to 3 factors. One is because of changing adherence to public health and social measures and resulting in increased social mixing. The second might be due to the circulation of new COVID variants that are more transmissible. And the third is because of uneven or unequal distributions of vaccines.
On vaccines, Oliver, could you please give us what is the picture that's emerging as more and more countries are vaccinating? What is data telling us?
Well, we have good information from scientific studies that individuals who receive a COVID-19 vaccine are at a lower risk of severe disease or death. We've also seen that several populations that have achieved high vaccination coverage, often in older age groups, have seen reduced transmission in those age groups. However, not all populations have been able to achieve high vaccination coverage, and we still see circulation of COVID-19 in all age groups, and especially in the younger age groups who are not vaccinated. For this reason, it's very important that we all continue to adhere to public health and social measures to reduce the occurrence of transmission of COVID-19.
So, Oliver, based on the trends that you described and the picture that you just painted, what is the way forward for us in this pandemic?
Public health and social measures are an important part of what we all must do, even though people are getting very tired. Public health and social measures include a number of different actions, such as wearing masks, maintaining distance between each other, washing our hands frequently. When we do need to meet, it's important that, where possible, we meet in places with good air circulation. And also importantly, when we do have the opportunity to receive a vaccine, we take our vaccine when we have that chance. So an additional factor that we must also continue to focus on is making sure that we have good surveillance and good laboratory testing so that we know where infections are occurring. This allows us to adjust the public health and social measures as needed. And these must be done along with good contact tracing, treatment and isolation also for all populations. It is also important for us to keep investing in science, both on vaccines, but importantly on treatments as well as laboratory tests for COVID-19 so that we can improve our interventions as we go forward.
Thank you, Oliver, for explaining the science and especially telling us about the importance of investing in science. Until next time then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stick with science.
And we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The MMDA has assured motorists in the NCR Plus that the transportation in the bubble will still be free-flowing. In an interview with 1PH sa Totoo Lang, MMDA General Manager Jojo Garcia said there won't be any border control inside the bubble. He said they will continue to conduct border control in NCR Plus and neighboring provinces.
Bulacan, going to Pampanga, then Laguna going to Batangas or Quezon, Rizal going to Quezon, no? So yan lang yung mga borders na babantayan natin, no? Yung Cavite. At wala naman sa border ng NCR Plus. Meaning yung NCR mismo, hindi ka lalagyan ng checkpoint papuntang Rizal, papuntang Cavite.
Garcia also said number coding will still be suspended despite the new community quarantine classification in Metro Manila.
Suspended po yan kasi alam naman po natin hindi pa normal ang capacity ng ating public transportation.
The Toll Regulatory Board has approved the implementation of a three-strike policy against erring motorists. Let's talk more about this with TRB spokesperson, Mr. Julius Corpus, who's joining us over the phone. Sir, good afternoon.
Risa, good afternoon.
Sir Julius, toll operators said they still need some time to inform their customers about this policy. Are they allowed to delay the implementation given such?
If that is needed, Risa, in fact, yesterday we wrote a letter to all the toll operators and instructed them to continue the information campaign on this regard because we need to give more advices to the motorists in relation to the implementation of this three-strike policy. What we did is we allowed them and encouraged them, however, to conduct a dry run of the implementation. Meaning to say, they can remind, they can warn motorists, but on a verbal basis only. No apprehension for those without load or with insufficient load passing through RFID lanes will happen during the time being. But mind you, we encourage motorists without load or insufficient load to please pass through the cash lane so that you don't obstruct the fast and convenient passage of the other compliant RFID subscribers who are passing through the RFID lanes. This three-strike policy was meant primarily to ensure fast and convenient travel in our toll plaza. The people who keep on passing without load or insufficient load obstruct the traffic flow in the toll plaza. That's why we introduced this three-strike policy. And another information that we wish to advise our motorists is that those motorists without RFID stickers and who passes through RFID lanes, beginning Monday, the NPTC group will start apprehending them. So we encourage motorists without RFID stickers to please use the cash lane so that you don't get apprehended or a citation ticket be issued to you. There is no reminder, there is no warning. That is not part of the 1, 2, 3 strike policy. Outright apprehension awaits you should you pass through RFID lanes and you do not have any RFID.
So, Sir Julius, after verbal warnings during the dry run, can you again reiterate to our viewers the offenses under the three-strike policy and what will happen to their licenses? Are there going to be fines?
After the verbal warnings and the final warning, when once the three-strike policy is fully implemented, on the third time, a citation ticket will be given to the erring motorist. And they have to pay the fine imposed by the LTO. I think it is 1,000 pesos for the violation of obstruction.
Sir Julius, is the TRB still pushing for full cashless transactions along expressways? And if yes, what's the status on this initiative?
Yes, we are. And that's the ideal scenario that we are looking forward to. That be implemented in the coming months or so. Meantime, we are making sure that the toll operators are up to their responsibility in providing a reliable, efficient, and accurate toll collection system, so that there will be no more glitches that may happen similarly to what we experienced in the past.
Well, thank you very much, Sir Julius, for your time and all for those information. That's TRB spokesperson, Mr. Julius Corpus. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.